This is Mayor Adams, Mayor of New York City. And this is Kathy Hochul, Governor of New York State. And they both want you back in the office. The reason might surprise you. In order to fully understand, let's go back to March 2020. When the pandemic happened in 2020, we were told to stay 6 feet apart and shelter in place. But we quickly realized that society still needed to function. So certain jobs became known as essential jobs, such as mailmen, healthcare, groceries. They still had to work, society had to function. And then you had non-essential work, like me. Accountants, lawyers, HR, even sales associates in certain stores were told to communicate with their clients over phone and text from home. And it worked. Everybody was happy, productivity was up. Fast forward about 18 months to summer of 2021, and the brunt of the pandemic was over. Restaurants were opening up, people were going out again, and most importantly, international travel was picking up. So it was going back to normal slowly. And this is where the fun starts. Because a lot of companies had ended their office leases thinking, we work from home, it works, productivity is up, why do I need an expensive office lease in Manhattan? So a lot of companies had ended their office leases, but a lot of CEOs wanted their employees back because they were losing control over their workforce. You see, in corporate America, they don't pay you to do your job. They pay you to do your job, and they want to own you until 5 p.m. Next time, when you're in the office, ask your boss at noon and say, I'm done with my work, and I go home? And they're going to give you more work to do just to keep you busy until 5. That's how it works. So, but if you work from home, you can just stop working at 1 p.m. if you're done. Nobody's checking over your shoulder. When we work from home, employees were happy because they could work from home, spend more time with their family, drop their kids off at school, pick them up. And CEOs were happy, and CFOs specifically, because they were saving money on office lease and rent and all that stuff. So it was a win-win for a little while. At the same time, as the return to office discussion started happening, New York City was experiencing a housing crisis. In 2020, when the pandemic happened, a lot of people left. They moved out of town, they moved back with their parents, because if the city's closed down, I can't go out, why am I paying this rent for? So a lot of people left. Landlords wanted to keep people in their apartments so they can keep collecting rent. So what they did was they offered something called COVID deals. 2 months free, 3 months rent free, lower rent. So you can get this luxury 1 bedroom you were dreaming about for 40, 50% less. So a lot of people stayed. A lot of people took advantage of those deals. Fast forward to the summer of 2021, and all the deals expired because things are opening up. New York is coming back to normal. On top of that, a lot of people who always wanted to move to New York started moving around this time because everything was cheaper. So they said, this is my chance to actually go there now. I can move there. So all of these people started coming back at once. And that's when the prices started skyrocketing. So a lot of people were saying, listen, we have these empty office spaces. Why don't we just create more apartments? Let's convert these office buildings into apartments, right? It's a win-win for everybody because you create more supply, prices go down. But if you remember these two, they're the ones who don't want this to happen. New York has a law called convenience of the employer rule. Basically what that means is that if you live in New York and you work in New York, you pay New York state tax on your income. Simple. If you live in Connecticut and work in New York, you pay New York state tax on your income. That means Connecticut doesn't get any of your tax money, even though you live in Connecticut. That's called the convenience of the employer rule. As of 2023, New York State receives 14% of their tax revenue from people who live in other states and work in New York because of this law. Now, let's say companies decided to all work from home and we're going to take all these shiny office skyscrapers and turn them into housing. What would happen? Housing prices would go down, obviously, more supply, but all those people who live in other states who work in New York, because they work from home now, that means they don't have a presence in New York. That means New York State will lose out on their tax revenue. So if you live in Connecticut or New Jersey, now you work from home, even though your company is a New York-based business, if they don't have an office, you work from home, you pay Connecticut or New Jersey state tax. In addition to this, they want you to come downtown, they want you to pay the tolls, subway fare, bus fare, buy lunch, buy coffee. They want you to support the local economy.
You can't run New York City from home. We must have everyone participate in our financial ecosystem to allow the low-skilled, unskilled, and people who are doing the hourly employees to actually be part of our ecosystem.
See, the thing about politicians is they will say and do anything to make it seem like they care about you, but they don't. And I'm pretty sure that all the politicians went to all the business owners in the city and convinced them to force their employees back. Everything is 5 days a week now. It used to be 2, then 3, then 4. Now it's 5 days a week. Like, look at the job postings. You see everything is 5 days a week in office. They don't really care if employees are happy. They care about their bottom line, and they can control you more when you're in the office. I hope this video made sense. Like and subscribe, and say something in the comments if you have any questions, and let's get a discussion going.